The first way I'm going to show you how to make a 9 patch is to take 9 equal squares of fabric and lay them out in a pattern that you like. Next, we're going to sew each of the 3 squares on each of the 3 rows together. I sewed each row together with a 1/4 inch seam, and then I pressed the seams towards the darker side. By having these seams facing opposite directions, it will be easier to nest together as we join the rows. So in this picture you see I am putting the second row on top of the third row, and I'm going to stitch these together, but first I'm going to nest these seams. When you press a seam to one side, one edge is going to be a little bit higher than the other side of the fabric. So when we put 2 that are going opposite directions together, we can slide them together and they will catch, almost like a lock. And since I have more than one seam to match, I am using clips after I nest them, so when I get to the sewing machine, it will all stay together for me. Now, most often when I'm nesting seams, I do leave the fabric lying on my surface and just do a slide from one side to the other side, and just doing that little slide allows it to catch and lock for me. I used 5-inch squares to make this block. That created a finished 9 patch of 14 inches. Another way to make a 9 patch is with some strips. I've got 2-inch strips laid out here. I'm going to be stitching together the top 3 and then the bottom 3. You can see that the top 3 go dark, light, dark, and the other ones go light, dark, light. I stitched the strips together with a 1/4 inch seam, and then I pressed to the darker side. For nesting, it's important that these 2 sets have their seams pressed in opposite directions. Since I started with 2-inch strips, these strip sets end up being a 5-inch width. Since we started with 2-inch strips, we are now going to make 2-inch vertical cuts. To get nice straight vertical cuts, I am lining up a horizontal line on my ruler with those horizontal seams. So now I'm taking opposite strip set pieces and laying them out so they make the 9 patch. You can see that the middle strip is different from the 2 outside strips. Then we're going to use our nesting technique to nest these seams together. We will clip and we will take it to the sewing machine and sew a 1/4 inch seam. And when you're nesting seams, you will be able to feel that little catch when you nest a seam. And here is a finished 9 patch for you. You can see those seams line up very nicely. Use your imagination. Any color combination or fabric that you want to use is going to turn out wonderful. Just try to have a little bit of contrast. There's no center seam line here, so the easiest way to trim this block is to give it a little finger press in half or with an iron, and then you will have, both horizontally and vertically, you'll have a little line to match up your ruler on. Thanks for joining me today for this little tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope to see you back again real soon.